Bayshore, and I'm going to highlight 10 ATECO tools that I use for ruffling. Over here is the tool set with a wide variety of tools, double-sided, the ATECO shaker with lid, 2 offset palette knives, spatulas, the ATECO cutting wheel, fondant wheel, the 2-inch food grade bristled brush, the jumbo ball tool, which I co-designed with ATECO in conjunction with the jumbo ruffle cutter and the jumbo modeling pad. And last but not least, the miniature 7.5-inch plastic rolling pin. Let me introduce you to each ATECO tool. This is the 7.5-inch plastic rolling pin, which I use for rolling the fondant really thin and also for sliding the rolling pin over the top of it so that it's nice and even. Secondly, the jumbo ruffle cutter. This is a scallop cutter. It's nice and large, so it cuts out nice big ruffles so that you're not rolling and cutting constantly. You can do it all in one go. The palette knife to remove the center. And then I'm going to be working with the jumbo ruffling pad to soften the edges. Lightly dust with cornstarch and using the 2-inch food grade bristled brush. It's really an excellent brush. It's an ATECO brush, and you'll find that the bristles will hold firmly without pulling out over the fondant. The next tool that I'm going to be using from the ATECO set is the shell tool, shell and blade. The end that I'm going to be working with is the shell end, and I'm going to use this to indent a shell design into the edge of my ruffle, working on the modeling pad. After that, I'm going to be working with the double-ended ball tool, and we can use that for cupping and ruffling the edges. This is if you want a slight cup and a little curl to the end. But I also have the jumbo ball tool, and working with the larger end of the ball tool, this gives a more delicate design and impression. The next tool that I'm going to be working with is the ruffling tool, and I need to ruffle directly on the mat. This tool is cone shaped, and we need to catch the edge of the gum paste and fondant with the wide edge of the cone, and just very simply roll that around the edge. And this gives more of a defined ruffle, depending on the final look that you're trying to achieve. And I'll go around a little further with this. And the secret of success is to keep the bulbous edge right on the edge of the tool. To open up the ruffles and give a nice neat edge to the center. I'm going to show you how we can do this using the ball tools. I'm going to trim off the center edge using the fondant wheel because sometimes it dries depending on the weather. It dries on the edge, and rather than having a cracked edge, I would rather trim it with the wheel. Working again with the double-ended ball tools, you can make scallops on the opposite end. And I'll turn this around so that you can see what I'm doing by just catching the end of the gum paste and fondant and pushing it out gently with the ball tool, which finishes it off with a nice scallop. With the mini ball tool, we can do a more delicate design using the same technique. And this gives a nice clean finished edge to your ruffles. And then with the shell tool, again, you can use the shell to do a design on the edge so that it matches the ruffle design, and at the same time creating a little scallop.